Alright guys, so this is the second round of the Stark Fealty deck. I was playing the same guy, obviously. He challenged me to a rematch. I was feeling good about the first match. If you have not seen the first match, you can go ahead and watch it on my YouTube channel. I think I'm going to upload these two videos at the same time, so you can see it there. So the first game we played was a really good game, in my opinion. I'm looking at this, trying to do some math, because I have the wall and Arya. Again, one of my favorite starts is the wall and Arya, because I get Arya out for 1 gold with Noble Cause, and I get 4 gold left with the wall. But then I am faced with a challenge, because I see Sansa in my setup, and I'm like, ooh, I love Sansa. So, and again, I played these a week ago, so I'm not super sharp on the details of the deck yet, of the game. I'm just following along with you guys at this point. I have a terrible memory, so. He sets up Sansa, another Vanguard, and Winterfell Steward. I mentioned in my previous video that I think that this guy was relatively new to the game. If you watch the first video, I think you'll notice that I don't think he was running any war plots, so having the Vanguard in his deck and not having any war plots is an odd decision, in my opinion. So I think he's, like I said, relatively young, or not young, but a new player, trying to figure out Stark Fealty, seeing what works and what doesn't, and I don't think he's realized yet that Vanguard does not work. Especially when you don't have any war plots. Even a sneak attack is a scheme, it's not a war. So, this time he plays sneak attack, and this time he tells me to go first. Another reason, and I'm not trying to be mean to the guy, I'm just stating my opinion, but another reason why I think he was probably new is because I think in the first game he was telling me to go first a lot. Sorry, he was telling me to go second a lot, saying he would go first. And I think he learned that Night's Watch loves going second. So I think he's learned a little bit. He's saying, ooh, he actually loved going second because then he could challenge me after my game. So once again, I forget exactly what I did here. I have a feeling I played Waymar just because I did not want to deal. Like, if he has sneak attack, that's 5 gold, and he has a Winterfell Steward, that could conceivably be Rob or Ed. So I was like, I'm going to play it safe, get a bunch of military icons out, maybe defend it, because I don't think he's going to have the same hand that he had last game, which was 2 for the North, and a Winter is Coming in his starting hand, which won him a 3-claim military challenge on turn 1, which was painful. But, so, he has 5 gold here. It'll be interesting to see, because I think, I have 6 on the Ranger, 3 on Waymar, and 2 on Arya. I was like, if he can get over 11, he deserves a military challenge. Plays another Vanguard. Again, not a fan of Vanguard. I don't think it's a great card. It's 4 for, I think, 4. Yeah, it's 4 for 4. 1 icon. No attachments, which, you kind of want to put attachments. Like, Stark has one of the best attachments in the game, and an incredibly low number of targets. I think Arya and, the two, obviously Eddard and Rob, and then Tumblestone Knights are really the only people who can hold it. They have 3 Direwolves who can't hold it, the Vanguard can't hold it, and I don't think they got any I don't think they're getting any new military icons in any of the previews I've seen. Obviously they didn't get a military icon in the first pack. I don't think they're getting one in the second pack, although there is one card that's not revealed yet, I think, if I remember correctly. So they're not getting many military icons. So the Vanguards cannot hold ice. I think they're pretty bad. So he went military of he has 8 total out. That means he could have for the North, and like we saw last round, he did. So I think I'm sitting on challenges. I want to make sure that I can defend this military challenge. So I have all this military strength. So I'm thinking if he does a military challenge, that means he has for the North, and if he doesn't do a military challenge, that means he does not. Now the bad part is he does have Sansa, and I have the Wall in my hand, and Sansa in my hand, and Iron Throne. I don't want to lose any of those cards. So I was hoping that he was doing the military and he was just going to buff it up, because I wouldn't mind losing a Raven and a dupe on Arya, but I don't want to lose 2 cards in my hand, because that would be terrible if I lost one of those 3 key cards, especially since he has a claim of 2. After some thinking here, thinking, he's doing the math in his head, realizing he can't get that military challenge, and then he does an intrigue, which I think is the right call. That's what I would have done. Which is unopposed. He gets a power, and then I have to random discard. And I did 2 random discards, and I missed the 3 cards I wanted both times, which was incredible, in my opinion. That is luck that Octagon does not often give me. So I get dominance. He does not look like he claimed his power for unopposed. Yeah. But he does take the power for Sansa. I would have, if I had noticed, I would have told him, but I didn't. Or maybe I did, and I'm just a jerk. It's another possibility. Because I am prone to be a jerk sometimes. My friends gotta check me sometimes. Shamar needs to tell me I'm being an asshole sometimes, so there's a possibility that that's true. Maybe I noticed and I just didn't feel like telling him. Although, like I said, I think he's a new player, and I was giving him a lot of help in that last round. Talking about letting him move the ice to Tumblestone, etc., etc. So, I want to win, obviously. I love winning, but I try not to take advantage of my opponent, so I don't think I do that. I play Feast because I have Iron Throne in my hand. So, I love that play, by the way. And he played Noble Cause, so I'm like, hey, go first, because I have 1 initiative to your 0 initiative. And then I'm eager, because I'm a jerk. Amiga contribution, sir. Shamar actually made a rule I have to say it. I don't like doing it, but it's my job. As an iChoice player, it's my job to say that, unfortunately. Amiga contribution for the wall. So he gets big Ed out. Eddard Stark. Not really worried because I'm holding the milk, but it's still something to think about. He should be done, if I recall. He just likes... Oh, does he... Yeah, he milks Arya. That's annoying. But I'm gonna milk someone even more important, so... I could have milked Sansa. I could milk Eddard. I'm pretty sure I milk Eddard, though, because that standing thing is just... It's just a bucket of headaches. I like getting unopposed challenges. It's my thing. You'll see I drew a ghost. I wasn't ever happy to see Ghost, so I think I've taken him out and put in a will since then. I know people love Ghost, and he is good against Eddard, but I had a Milt, so I didn't even need to do that. I'm saying, do I want to do Sansa and wait till next turn to play the wall? Do I want to play the wall? I know I want to milk Eddard, because I'm not a fan of Renown. Still thinking. I'm typically a faster player than this. I think I play the wall just because I don't want it to get intrigued out. Yeah, I decided to play the wall. Because I just do not want it to get intrigued out. That'd be awful. And then I milk Eddard. I knew I would. Good job, pass me. Done. So, that 2 intrigue on turn 1, it's not typical out of Stark. It was effective, I'm down to 3 cards, but I have the... And... he does an unopposed intrigue. I was just waiting for him to actually declare it as intrigue. And I discard a Hand's Judgment again. I mean, I was just extremely lucky this game in terms of his intrigue, because I was like, I'm gonna lose Sansa. I've played on Octagon before. I know I'm gonna lose Sansa. It's just what happens to me. But I didn't. I actually got to keep it, which was just a bonus, because I was anticipating losing it. I was like, when I was looking at my hand, I was like, I'm gonna lose either Sansa or the wall. I was like, I want the wall more than anything. Sansa's nice, but she can die. The wall lives forever. So it does a military of 8. I think I just defended with Waymar, if I recall correctly. He doesn't have a gold, so he can't do Winter is Coming. Oh. No, he has Fealty, so he could do it. But I think I was just pretty apathetic to it all. It's just like, it's gonna be 8-4. You can't get a put to the sword out, obviously. It's 8-4. So you can do a Winter is Coming, I suppose, but I'll deal with that if it comes. I just defended. I'm like, yeah, you can have a claim. I think at this point, I decided that I was not confiscating for Arya, because I saved my confiscation for Benjen almost exclusively. Because unmilking Benjen is just the best play ever. So, they're already... I would probably play it if they milk Sansa as well, but those are really only 2. So if someone milks Arya, I'm like, whatever. I lost the stealth. I'm not going to waste a plot to get rid of it. So I just take her dupe because I just view her as 2 claim at this point. So he did not have Winter is Coming, which was a nice surprise for me, because I guess you always anticipate it. Especially since, and this is another thing I will point out, he didn't need to do both of them. If he didn't have a reaction coming off of it, if I defended with both, I would win regardless. If I defended with just Waymar, I'd lose regardless. So, he could have just attacked with 2, with just the 1, and probably still won, unless I just defended with the ranging party. But I'm gonna defend with the ranging party right now anyway. Again, I think he's new because he played for the North on a power challenge, which he can't do. He realizes it pretty quickly, but he was obviously game planning around that, and it didn't work out for him. So I win. I grab a Renown because of Longclaw, and now his board is knelt out, and I'm like, hey, free power challenge. Nice. So that was a nice little bonus. So he gives me a Renown on a military challenge, and then gives me an unopposed power, which I would not have gotten if he had just stopped there. So that his play of thinking for the North works on power was a real mistake. that vaulted me up from 1 up to 6. Because I got the unopposed power challenge for 2, dominance for 1, and then feast for crows for 2. Does that add up? Yeah, that's 5 power. 5 power in 1 turn. I did 1 challenge. And it was all because he didn't understand what For the North does. Or he didn't understand that you can't use it in a power challenge. So, just remember, before you guys craft your challenges, just keep in mind what the cards do. I played Calling the Banners just because, again, once again, he's got 5 characters out on turn 3, which is, I believe, above average, well above average. I figured he was gonna unmilk Ed, so I was like, I want to get initiative. 6 initiative gets me initiative. I'm gonna go second. It's gonna be awesome, and he did. So I was able to grab that initiative, and now I finally have enough gold to play just about everything in my hand except Ghost, which, again, do I need Ghost? I don't think I do. So I have 9 in hand. I might even play him anyway, just because of Ed. Let's see what I do. So he's starting to really accumulate the renown now. And he's done. He played Rob and he's done. I get up to 9. Yeah, and I play Ghost. Just because, why not, right? Get around Ed. Even if he stands, he can't defend because Ghost says you can't defend. If I stealth you, you can't defend for the rest of the round. So Sansa's down with a dupe. Ghost is down. And now I'm like, I have to choose between Castle Black and the 2 Ravens. They both cost 2 gold. I have to decide what would I lose if he gets a military challenge off. Should I go with Castle Black so I can get challenges? And I decide to. I figure I don't want to lose Castle Black because it's a great location. It's going to come in useful later. It's better to just do it now. So he does an intrigue once again. I kneel the wall. I played the wall, but when I did not have an intrigue icon, so it's not great. I don't know why he targeted Sansa, but it doesn't matter. Let's see what he does here. You know he's gonna do something with those renowns. Does he do an all-out again? I hope he doesn't. For his sake, I hope he doesn't do an all-out. Come on. He's thinking. He's trying to decide how much he needs to get this through. You know, my ranging party's 7 plus 4 for Waymar is 11 plus 4 more for Ghost. So he's like, I need to get more than 15, which he would need all his guys to do that. Yeah. He goes all his guys. And I don't know why he does this. I would never advise to do this. Especially since, what is he really getting out of it? At best, he's getting a dupe of Sansa. At worst, I just claim Arya, who's just a blank 2-strength monocon at this point. So I don't, I think I just chump block it. I'm like, you know, I'd have to commit way too hard to get it under. I don't think I could ever win it, but I just don't feel like dealing with it. I defend for 5. And then he does further north, I suppose just so he can draw a card. He probably decided he didn't want to deal with it. So once again, he passes it to me with a blank board. A completely knelt out board. Which, well, again, never recommend it. I never recommend it. Especially when I have Ghost. I take the claim of the Sansa dupe. And he's done. I'm at 7 power. I'm about to get even more. I think first things first, I do a Ghost challenge stealthing Eddard. So even though Eddard would stand, it does not matter. Interesting. I don't know why I did that. That's stupid. Maybe I forgot about Ed. I don't know. Seems like a silly move right now. I don't know. It's weird. I shouldn't have done that. It doesn't matter too much, but I would have liked to get that unopposed. So he defends. Again, I messed that up. Shouldn't have done that. But that still puts me up to 9. Nine power overall to his 4. I remind him he has to actually lose the power. A lot of the lag time was just waiting for him to take claim. I don't understand why I did that. Maybe this might sound stupid. Maybe I felt bad for him. I don't know. Doesn't seem like something I do, but it's possible. Because Ghost has stealth. I mean, I don't know what I was doing. That just seems silly to me. Why would I do that? Whatever. I don't... I'm wasting time thinking about it. So anyway, go into turn 4 at 11 power. And I choose to fortify position just so I can turn off his Sansa, turn off his Renowns, so I doesn't deal with them. Oh, I know why, because if I did a military challenge, he would react with Rob to stand all his people and I wouldn't get Renown. Makes sense. You were right again, Past Joe. You were right again. You were much wiser than I. He's telling me to go first? Because of course he would. Why would you tell a Night's Watch character to go second? Doesn't make any sense. So I draw. Get Sam, and I get my I'm thinking about playing my Raven. Yeah, I play my Raven, even though I can't pick him back up this turn. If he wildfires me, he wildfires me, and my Raven will die. But that's fine. I don't think he wildfires me, but just in the case that he does. So this game's starting to get cumbersome. I really don't like the big boards. Um, I would probably wildfire next turn, just because I don't like dealing with big boards. But I have no hand. It's just reminding him I don't have a hand, so his intrigue challenge won't mean anything to me. I think he plays. Does he play Greywind? I don't know. He's still taking his time a little bit. Oh, he plays Ice. So, Ice. Ice comes out on Ed. He actually can't do that because of fortified position, but I don't think I correct him. Because it doesn't matter. I'm thinking, I don't think I need to do anything here. I'm getting 3 power at the end of the turn from the wall and in dominance. I think I'm just gonna sit. Or I just do an intrigue. Why not? Do an intrigue. The best you can do is match it. Make him drop a card. Whatever. And he lets it go to post. Again, for no reason. What does he care about Sansa standing? I don't have a hand. I told him at the beginning that I don't have a hand. So yeah, he loses a put to the sword. You know, so maybe that was his plan. He wanted to put to the sword Sansa and then attack with Sansa. But he lost it. He does have 2 gold, so he would have been able to do it, most likely. So he does a military of 10. Oh, sorry, he does a full-on military, so maybe I should have just defended it all. Do I defend it all out? Let's see here. No, I do the 7. So I saw he dropped a put to the sword. I was like, he's not gonna have 2. And then he has 2. So he puts Sansa to the sword. Oh. No, he doesn't. Funny. It's very interesting. He doesn't. He puts the 2 strength guy to the throne, which it's. Oh, and then he ices Sansa. Okay. He's got it all planned out. Guys, sorry I had a little bit of interruption there, but we're back on track. So, I'm just gonna go back a couple seconds here. So he ices Sansa. If you remember, he put to the sword my Night's Watch, my ranging party. So now Sansa and the ranging party are both dead. I told him he was pretty sneaky about it, having 2 put to the swords. And Uh, and a double claim and ice. So it was a big, a big turn for him. And he does an intrigue, which kneels the wall. Actually, that should have been a 2 claim, but I forgot. He didn't remind me. Win's a win, sure. It's always so easy to forget about it, but I don't think it has a huge impact on the game. So, it was a mistake, but I don't think it had much of an impact on the outcome of the game. So that's the end of that round. I do get 1 power from dominance. So I'm sitting at 11 power after turn 4. Obviously I would have loved to have more. I had to reset my power to 11 because the ranging party with 2 renown died. So if you are playing Octagon, just remember to do that. If you're keeping track of your power on your house card, it's easier to notice it. But if you don't do that, if you're just counting your power in the little toolbar there, it's really easy to forget when a renowned character dies, and then you might prematurely win when you shouldn't have, and everything. So going into turn 5, I am up 11 to 8, but he has significant board presence over me. At this point, I need to thin his board. I know it's probably just going to kill Reducer and 2 Vanguard Knights, or Vanguards of the North, but I really need to get rid of all that extraneous power. So, he reveals March to the Wall. Me first, my plot first. So he obviously wants me to discard down. And that's the right choice, obviously. If he could make me go first, but then I would just make the Wildfire go first, and then he would have to march down to 2, which is obviously not something he'd want to do. So he had to go first there, even though he probably wanted me to go first in an ideal world. He probably predicted my Wildfire just because it was a pretty obvious play. Because his board is getting really big and really irritating. And right now I'm just telling him he forgot about the fortified position in a couple ways. He put Renown on his 2 characters, and he initially took Sansa's power. So that actually knocks him down 5. He had 8 because he collected Sansa power and the 2 renown, but he's back down to 5. And that is one thing I will say, as fortified position is really great when they have a bunch of renown out. Right now I'm grappling with whether I want to keep it or not, because in my first video you saw Shamar wrecked me because I had fortified position out, and he was able to kill Maester Immin. So it has its ups and its downs. This game it was good. The game against Shamar, it was obviously bad. So we can take it from here. He plays Lady on Rob, and he's going to use Fealty. For Greywind. And that is his turn, is marshalling. So I got a lot of space to make up for. Luckily he's not doing a 2-claim plot now, so it's not going to be too bad, but he always has the option of, oh no, because winter's coming, he needs gold. Puts his sword, he needs gold, so he's not coming out with many events. He might have it for the North, but nothing that's going to kill more people. So I decided to play Littlefinger, I wanted the card draw. And I draw a Tumblestone Knight, which is great because, if I remember correctly, I mean, I should play it, I think. I could play the Messenger Raven, but I think that you never know what they're planning on doing, so yeah, I decided to go with the Tumblestone Knight. Greywind could eat it. Greywind could eat Sam, though, so I'm not positive what he decides to do. So we go into challenges. He's thinking. I think he's trying to decide, does he eat Sam or the Tumblestone Knight, because he obviously has Robb out now, so I can't check the card, but I think the card says when Robb's out, he can eat a 2-strength character. Yes, he eats the Tumblestone Knight. So I think I prefer that. Tumblestone Knight is non-unique. I don't really care if he dies. He's just there to block. But I have all 3 icons still, so I should be able to get the wall here. And I'm going to be able to get dominance. Let's see what happens. He does a military with Robb, who is a I believe a 7. I think ladies +2. So he's a 7, so I'm not going to be able to win. I can get up to 6 with Castle Black on Waymar. And yeah, I think I do. Just play Castle Black, stand him up, put him at 6. So he does win. But he's not going to get anything else. I think he's trying to move lady. Oh, no, he's asking, you know this is here, right? And I say yeah. Eventually. Sorry. You know I have her. Just thinking of who to claim. Yeah, I think Sam is the right call. Just because he can be eaten by Greywind next turn if there is a next turn. So why not just keep the guys out that are not able to be eaten by Greywind? I don't know what he's thinking about, because it's obviously what he's going to do. He's going to do a power challenge. I mean, he's going to get the power challenge through. He's not going to get the intrigue challenge through. That's not going to change. Okay. Yeah, he decides to go intrigue. I think his reasoning for that is so that he can make sure that he wins the power challenge. But he was never going to... I was never going to defend full on the power challenge and let the intrigue go through. That doesn't make any sense. So, obviously, that's how the challenges go. He didn't... Yeah, there he goes. So he took the renown for Robb. A little late, but I'm fine with it. He needs to take... Does he take the renown on Eddard? He should, because he won that challenge. Interesting. Interesting. He didn't take the Sansa power. He didn't take Eddard power. A little odd. I kneel Rob. Just because I don't feel like dealing with him. He missed a couple of power here and there, but again, I don't think it matters all that much. And then I draw a Sam, who obviously is dead now, but that's fine. I'm probably just playing Benjen this turn anyway. And so obviously on Octagon it's more difficult to notice all the different triggers that you have. You know, when you stand all, you're not physically touching the Sansa's card, so it's easy to forget that when she stands. You know, when you're playing a physical game, you have to pick up each of your cards, so when you pick up Sansa to stand her, you're like, oh, and I get the power for this. But in Octagon, when you're just doing Alt-E to end the turn and standing all your people, it can be easy to forget stuff like that. And same with Renown. I think that sometimes it's just easy to forget that kind of stuff for whatever reason, just because you know you're a little further away from your cards, and that just I think it further lends to, you know, again, it does take a lot of practice to play Octagon efficiently. You know, within a certain time frame, within a certain amount of you know, mistake-free play. So it's funny. I was so you know, he took so long on his turn. I was getting impatient, and I'm prone to do that. For whatever reason, I'm just an impatient person. So I already had my turn planned out. I was like, I'm getting 4 gold from the Filthy Accusations, 1 gold from my Rose Road. I'm just gonna drop Benjen and go. But I forgot that Littlefinger gives you gold too. I could have played the Raven if I wanted to. Obviously I didn't, but it would have been an option. Ultimately, it doesn't have much of an impact on the game, because now that Benjen is out, he can't do a military challenge, because then Benjen would die, and then I would go to 15 and win. So, at this point, he can't stealth anyone for military, so he stealths for a power challenge. He does a power challenge of 4. He does not have any gold, so he can't move Lady around. So I think I just defend with Benjen. Benjen's a 5. He has 4. You can't play 4 the North on a power challenge, so I felt pretty confident. Yeah, and I'm just double checking. He does not have gold. Still quadruple checking. And then I defend with Benjen and stand him. His 7 to my 4, or my 7 to his 4. So he does not get the power from me. And then he does a military challenge. And I think this is when I say something along the lines of, have you read Benjen? I think I do anyway. Military of 9. Not positive what I'm thinking about right now. Yeah, here I go. I say, have you read Benjen? and then he concedes. So he says, "You got this game." So, you know, the game's over. I win 15 to 6, or, whatever it would be, because he can't do any more challenges. I could pass, I could do challenges if I wanted to rub salt in the wound, but ultimately, I was getting the wall, I was getting dominance, and if he did do a military challenge, I can just kill Benjen. So, he compliments my deck. We just have our friendly banter, and then I think he signs off. So, with that, this 2-round game against Stark Fealty is over. As you can see, I think Stark Fealty is just not, it does not stand a chance against my deck for whatever reason. My deck is resistant to, claim, it's resistant to military attacks because of Aemon, because of Benjen, because, various reasons. I have plenty of military icons to stop him, so, I've been getting questions, and obviously this is not a Baratheon game, this isn't a Targ Lannister game, but I have got a couple questions, not recently, but in the past. People have asked me, how does this deck handle against heavy aggro? And as you could see, this was 2 heavy aggro decks. So, I think that is a good representation of the deck. I'll post these videos, and hopefully in the near future I can start playing some new games, and you guys can see its potential against some Tier 1 decks. So until next time, I'll talk to you guys later, and thanks for tuning in. Bye.